Hey, welcome in, Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boating with Tomorrow's Pros Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
There you go, Jason.
Here we are.
I was trying to get a new intro this morning. I couldn't think of anything, though. So it just started off with shoo.
Is that how the show is going to go?
That's how it's going to go today. Hey, we have some exciting news today that nobody listening will know, but we have a speaker here in the studio now.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. We're moving up every day, a little more high tech.
A little more. Tossed up the green screen, got the sign up here, so little by little.
Yeah, it looks good. I just noticed that.
I've learned don't go all out all at once, because then if you can't maintain it, then people are going to be like, well, what happened to that? And
Yeah. You got to minimize your standards.
I learned that the hard way in broadcasting. You know, we show up to Georgetown one time, and I have like 5 camera angles, and I mean, it looked like we had an ESPN crew there. You know, although ESPN works on like a $40,000 a game budget, and we work on about a $500 a game budget. Thankful for the volunteers, but. Yeah, man, we show up and we have all these cameras. Well, the next week, of course, we couldn't do that. And so, what happened, man? This quality's horrible. I'm like, man, come on, guys.
Yeah, measure your expectations.
So I'm all about, even like, see, we got 2 cameras here.
Yeah.
And if we add another one, people are going to start. They're going to start demanding that every day. So.
I don't know. It may give us a little more room.
Yeah, so we'll figure it out as we go. Well, hey, we want to welcome you in. Thanks for being a part of it here this morning as we get started on our Thankful Thursday. This is episode 344. Once we get to 365 here in the next few weeks, we'll just take a year break and we'll just recycle everything for the next year.
You'll have enough built up in the log then. Take some time off. You need some time off, Rob.
People are going to be wondering about events in 2022 when they're watching live like, well, that already happened. Just joking with you this morning. But, yeah, 344 as we get going here. A big thanks to Paul Oley, the gallery, for all of your custom framing, photography, and more. Go see my good friend Paul Oley. It's Paul Oley at the gallery. 1201 University. Also a huge special shout-out to Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers and online at elliotsjewelers.com. I had a chance to go see Elliot yesterday, and we're so excited to partner with our friends at Care Center Huntsville. That fundraiser is underway, and we're so thankful. We've already been able to raise $400 in just a little over 24 hours for Care Center Huntsville. we still have – there was a gentleman who made a good donation, and I said, hey, do you want multiple pieces of the jewelry? And he said, no, just give me one. And so that was very generous of him. And so we still have 17 pieces of jewelry. It's diamond necklaces and pendants that we are providing to people who make a donation of at least $100 or more. And this is just a beautiful necklace, beautiful matching earrings. And if you're able to, all those proceeds will go directly to Care Center Huntsville. Had Jackie Barham on yesterday and Jamie, and just wonderful folks. And
it's a great organization, especially in this community. They reach people that our local churches can't meet because of circumstances and situations that go on. They have the opportunity to open those doors. Being in a college and university town, it's so needed, and I'm so thankful to have them. And they strictly run off of donations and giving of churches and people like your listeners that support that. I know they don't take federal funding because they want to be able to share the gospel with people that come through the doors. So I think it's a wonderful organization.
Yeah, great organization, and we just are so thankful for Care Center Huntsville and all that they do. We got a great show lined up today as we get rolling on episode 344, and I hope our audio is working. I tested it, and for a moment, it was kind of weird because I didn't notice the meter there. So a lot of people are already joining us. They usually tell us right away if they can't hear us, so hopefully that was still working. But we do have a great show lined up today as we're here on our Thankful Thursday. Not only a shout-out to Elliot Herzig of Elliot's Jewelers, but also here at First. Appreciate Jason for being with us. Brother Bay, Dr. Bay,
Jason.
You're like J Bay. The hip hop song is coming.
All right,
Bay, Bay. We're still trying to get that song. So
got to get the rights to it. Huh?
Yeah, I think Kim and Rachel know this song because when I said that, they kind of laughed a little. So I think they know this song.
Yeah,
so
well, they're gonna know it, right?
Yeah, they'll know it here in the next couple of weeks. I've been talking about it for a long time. And you know, Joshua Harris over at the Oak Ridge Disciple House, he told me, don't talk about it, be about it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a couple of things that I've been talking about that I haven't been about. One of them is bringing that cookie oven over to Walker County Federal Credit Union. It's still in the garage. So I need to quit talking about it and be about it.
Well, you've had a few distractions this year, I must say.
Well,
a tree fell through your house. And
I said last night, you know, at our the marriage class, by the way, the couples class, it was a great class yesterday. Want to encourage folks, if you have a chance, you don't have to be a member of First, but come on out to Wednesday Night Live. I think it was even more numbers this Wednesday than last week.
Really had a lot of people here on the campus and a lot of different groups going on. And I guarantee you there's a place you can find a community here. You know, like you said, it's not about being a member of a church. It's about being a part of a community. And we have a grief class that's going through, and the leader of it's a member of another church. She's coming in and leading this group to facilitate. Then she saw the need for this community to have something like this. She's actually from out Richards and Anderson way, and they had done something like this out there before. But she's leading the class, and then you mentioned that you're in the couples class. I'm teaching the kids, so I enjoy that. But there's a lot of different activities going on for all ages every Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's great. So come on out, be here. Good dinner also provided at 5 o'clock, and come on out and be a part of it. The reason I brought that up, though, you had mentioned the tree fell through the house, and I was joking around in the marriage class last night, or the couples class. I don't want to mislead folks because there's couples in there too, or maybe there's someone who's longing to be in a relationship. I mean, it's a great class to be a part of.
It's just open.
And but I said, you know, when that tree fell through our house, I said, I feel like we're starting to finally have a holy house. You know, we had the hole fall through the roof. Their little branch was kind of hanging out with us, and
that's one way of looking at it.
So
that's the optimistic attitude, Rob. I love it.
Got to be optimistic about everything in life. So those are the two things that I'm talking about that I'm not being about. One is the Otis Spunkmeyer cookie oven at Walker County Federal Credit Union. The second is the Jason Bay intro song.
Hey, I'm not disappointed in you, Rob. I could probably live a long time without the intro song.
I'll get Alan to cue that up on Sunday, you know, whenever.
As people make a mass exodus out the back of the church.
Yeah, that would probably not work very well. Hey, do us a favor this morning. Let us know that you're out there. Just say hello to us if you don't mind. Do us a huge favor, too, and like and share this broadcast so we can continue to promote and celebrate the good happening here in Huntsville. There's so much going on in our community. The Muster Fest is coming up this Saturday. A big shout out to Tara Burnett and all the work that she does over at Hart's Veterans Museum. It's definitely an event that you want to be at. We were looking forward to being there, but we are leaving today, probably a little bit after lunchtime, to head down to San Antonio to be with my uncle and family. For my aunt who tragically passed in that accident, and it's one of those things that, I mean, here we are again. Jason, and you were with me. I was so gracious to you and some of our deacons here at First for making that trip to Georgetown to be there when my dad passed. And we fast forward a few months and never would have expected something to happen to my sweet aunt. It was my aunt and uncle that we're very close to. We spent all of our summers growing up there. But once again, we find hope in the loss, because just like my dad, even though he had his struggles, he still had a relationship with the Lord. Right. And my aunt, I never heard her raise her voice. I never heard one foul word out of her mouth. I never saw her get angry. And I'm not saying all that because saying that that's the perfect Christian, because there is no such thing as the perfect Christian. We've all sinned and fallen short. But I'm going to tell you, my aunt leaves behind a tremendous legacy that I want to emulate, and it drives me to be a better person. And here's another loss, but there's hope in that, knowing that she's now with the Lord. And I'm telling you, man, that faith thing makes things a lot easier, because if you didn't have it, it's still hard to go through those things, but it would have been a lot harder, losing people that you knew weren't in a relationship with the Lord.
Absolutely. And you've gone through so much loss this past year, and just the family, and we were talking about it earlier in the week. When your family gets to a certain age, those things come in waves, it seems like, and you've been definitely hit with a big wave this year of all sorts of things in your personal life. But last night, my daughter came in after her small group, and we're talking about the Beatitudes in our church services. And last night we were talking about, blessed are they who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Now, she came in and we were talking about just loss in general. Why do good people suffer? What the world is such a broken place, and Jesus, I was telling her, she came in because she leads one of the small groups for the youth, and she was talking about just their discussion about grief and loss and how to make it in a world where we experience so much difficulty. And the best example that I could come up with was in John chapter 11, where Jesus comes to the tomb of Lazarus, knowing that he's going to raise him in just a little while. He's going to call him from the grave. But what does he do before that? He weeps with them that are weeping. And because loss hurts, even though we know that these people have a relationship with Christ, Mary and Martha met Jesus, and they're asking him questions. Why this? Why now? Well, why couldn't you have been here? And then he weeps with those because he knows the brokenness of this world that we live in, the hurtfulness of losing those we love. But then at the end of the story, he reminds them this is not the end. Just like you said, we have hope. We grieve, but we don't grieve as those who have no hope. Because at the end of the day, he calls Lazarus from the tomb and says, hey, come on up. And he proves his power over death at that point. And so why does Jesus comfort those who mourn? Because he can comfort them with the promise that this is not the end. The things we see are temporal, but the things unseen are eternal. And we need to make sure we have those things in priority. And I know you've been reminded of that over and over and over this year of, hey, we've got to keep things in priority. We have to keep things in order. We have to be reminded of the Scripture. Otherwise, we wouldn't make it.
Yeah, well, that's a good word this morning. We always try to find some inspiration on the show. We don't write it down. It just kind of naturally comes, and sometimes it's the beginning. Sometimes it may be at the end, but I hope this morning someone out there that's watching or listening across the Spirit Radio FM app, if you're in that situation, just know and hold on to that hope.
Amen.
There is something kind of funny this morning, to flip the script. We have like 15 people from Ireland on the Spirit Radio FM app this morning, and I have no idea why. But for those of you way across the ocean, welcome in. You're probably wondering, what are we listening to? We were listening to Christian music, and now it's a morning show.
So it probably has to do with the fact that last week I was talking about the Aggies playing Notre Dame, and they just wanted to come on this morning and rub it in my face.
Oh, yeah, speaking of which, Jason, you were at that game. Did you ask for a refund on your way out?
I should have.
It was still fun, though.
It was great. Me and my wife, we went over there, and we had a great time with our boys. They're both students over there, and we went to the game. We did the pregame stuff, and it was fun to hang out with them. But, man, it sure lacked a lot of to be desired from the Aggies' point of view. I mean, there wasn't a lot of offense in that game. We just sat there and kind of were staring at each other and, okay, let's see, something's about to happen. Something's about to happen. And it did in the last 2 minutes, but it wasn't for the Aggies.
It's the way it usually turns. Hey, on the flip side, Sam Houston, boy, they dominated.
Rice.
That
was great.
I was very. In fact, I sent Coach Keeler a message, that evening and said, "Congratulations on a big time win." We're going to have Bobby Williams on this show, the athletic director at Sam Houston, here in a couple of weeks. I had reached out and said, "Hey, Bobby, congratulations on that win." He has a lot of ties to Rice too. With his dad playing there and stuff. So I said it'd be cool to have Bobby on and kind of give us some updates on how things are going. And I wanted to highlight a lot of his accomplishments too, because as we live here in Huntsville, there are so many tremendous people in our community that have done such amazing things. We're going to hear from two folks here in just a moment who continue to do amazing things, our friends at CASA. But I think about a guy, even on the athletic side, like Bobby Williams, who has literally taken Sam Houston from, I believe, the NAIA days all the way to the top tier of Division I football. And if you look at that, Jason, I don't know if there's ever been an athletic director in the history of college sports that has taken a program all the way through everything to get to where they're at. It's just an amazing journey.
I can't say enough about, just from my time being here at First Baptist, to what has happened over at the university. I mean, their growth and their commitment to grow in the university, it's amazing, from the medical school development that they've done to their incorporation with the community to their athletic department. It's just really amazing to see that Sam Houston is committed to growth for the long term.
It's cool when you think about everything that we encounter today started because somebody had an idea. Mm-hmm. Think about that. As you drive today, I mean, I think about these things sometimes, and it's amazing. The road that you are driving on is there because somebody had a vision to put that road there. The building that you are walking into today, whether it be a grocery store or going to your place of work, you're walking into that building because somebody had an idea to put that there. And I'm thinking a lot about, I go back to the university standpoint. In Georgetown, where I grew up, Southwestern University is the oldest university in the state of Texas. It was chartered way back in the 1800s. I think it was 1840. And here's the thing, though. How did Southwestern University used to be in the same conference as the University of Texas and all those? And then how did these schools, and it used to be called Texas University before it was Southwestern. How did that school not grow? And you see how UT has grown, and Baylor and A&M. I mean, these guys were in the same conference as those schools back in the day. So how did that school remain small? And it's only Division III, and you've got these universities. The reason is because there was somebody who didn't want that to happen. Somebody had the vision that didn't want that to happen. And I'm not saying that in a negative way.
Right.
But that's a little bit more inspiration this morning. If you have an idea, don't be afraid to voice that idea, because you never know what's going to happen and where that's going to take you. And I used to get so frustrated whenever people would say, "Oh, Sam Houston can't compete." Well, the only thing that's limiting anyone from doing anything is the thing that God put in between these two things on our head, and that's our brain.
Right.
And it's our mindset and how we think about things.
Yeah, we have to have don't ever limit yourself with small vision. I've said that to our church and to my kids all the time. Do not let yourself be limited by small vision. And then I also remind them that a statue is never, ever made to a critic. Only those people that step out there, try something new. And when you do, you put yourself out there to be criticized by a whole lot of people, but there's never been a statue made for a critic. Just remember that those that really step out there and do great things and are bold are not afraid of failure.
And you can here's something too while you're saying this that popped into my head, and we'll have our friends from CASA here on in just a few moments. There's nothing wrong with having a small vision about something that can be encompassed by big things. And what I mean by that, you think about like in a church, the health of a church usually relates down, of course, with their commitment to the Lord and biblical preaching. But as you move down, you think about the community aspect, and small groups are the lifeblood of any church, I believe. And, I know we're doing a lot here with that now, but there's something big in those small groups. So I don't want you to feel discouraged this morning if you think, well, man, I can't come up with this huge world-changing idea. You can change the world that's right down the street from your house or in your – start by changing the world in your household this morning.
The Bible says where there is no vision, the people perish, and that is true. You have to have a vision for your own life, vision for your family, vision for your workplace, your community. And I think – we stand in the wake, just to bring it all back, we stand in the wake in this community of people that have had a big vision for Huntsville, for the university, and I'm so thankful for that, for the leaders, and then First Baptist as well. I mean, I always stand up there behind the pulpit and look at the beautiful sanctuary and realize we didn't build that. Somebody that had a vision before came along and said, we're going to put a church here that's going to last for generations.
I do have one final thought on this, Jason, and then we'll wrap up this segment, but the phrase, there's two phrases that I've always heard that I've just totally disagreed with. The first one is, don't get your hopes up. Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan of that phrase.
Right.
Because why would you not want to get your hopes up?
That's right.
The consequence comes whenever you depend on that hope so much, and then you see something that doesn't happen and you get discouraged.
Yeah.
But when I wake up in the morning, I'm not sitting there thinking, like we're working on trying to get this radio station here. And I was telling Kim before, we're going through this bureaucratic process of dealing, with our friends at the FCC. And now that's triggered something with the FAA through, the Federal Aeronautics Administration, all these different administrations. But you know what? I still have my hopes up. I'm not going to wake up and be like, well, it ain't going to happen today. Don't get your hope. No, I'm going to have my hopes up because I know that better things are on the horizon, and you got to have that attitude each day. That's the first phrase that I'm not a fan of. I tell people that I meet all the time, get your hopes up and get your hopes up every day. But also understand that those things may not come to pass, and that's okay. Still be hopeful.
Yep.
Something
second better is out there.
Yeah, and the second phrase is, the grass is always greener on the other side. Man, I'm going to tell you straight up today, you better take care of your lawn first. You better get some fertilizer on that bad boy, and you better water it, because if your lawn ain't green, how are you going to help somebody else's lawn turn green? Right. I'm just not a fan of that phrase, man.
Yeah. I love it. I like your attitude. You're bringing it this morning, Rob. You're bringing it.
It's because I got bay here, so I better start throwing it down. But no, and there's nothing. I've learned that it's okay. It's okay for you to want things in your life to be better, because if you are in, and there's nothing wrong. I used to think for so long, for 39 years, honestly, I thought 38 years. It wasn't up until 2 years ago that I finally had kind of this realization. But I used to think that was so selfish of a person, and then it wasn't humble to want something good to happen in your life. There's nothing wrong with that, friends, because whenever you want those things to happen in your life, it gives you an attitude of even more gratitude, in my opinion, and it also enables you to be able to help somebody else. If good things happen in your life, suddenly you have resources that you can try to help somebody else. There's nothing wrong with that. And you can still love on people while you're going through a season.
Definitely. So what I'm gathering here this morning, Rob, is you're telling people to have a big vision, number one. Number two, have hope. And number three, fertilize your own lawn.
That's right. Yep. There's a feed store down the road that sells some A+ premium grade manure. Pour that bad boy on your lawn and get it going this morning. So, all right. Well, and probably head out to the bays. I'm sure y'all got plenty out there at the livestock, right, with the horses.
yeah, for sure.
All right. We'll say, didn't know how we were going to go with that conversation, but there we go. We'll take a quick break. Hey, we're giving away some more Lasso Your Imagination tickets. This is a great opportunity to support childhood literacy here in our community. Big thank you to Kay Boning of Tomorrow's Promise and the Tomorrow's Promise Education Foundation. And all you got to do is text in the keyword lasso along with your name. That event happening on September the 14th. Going to be a really nice dinner that night. Billy Papania, man, he can cook, and he's going to be putting on the food there for Lasso Your Imagination. It's a fundraising event that will be taking place again on September the 14th from 6 to 10 p.m. And these tickets, normally $50 a piece or so. We've got some to give away today. We're going to give away 2. All you got to do is text in Lasso along with your name. That is on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line at 936-339-0093. 0139. We'll step aside. We'll take a quick break. And our friends Rachel Drake, Kim Weezer from CASA of Walker, San Jacinto, and Trinity counties join us when we come back. Stay with us. More to come. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know if you're looking for someone in the jewelry business right here in Huntsville, look no further than my good friend Elliott Herslick. He's helped me out time and time again, whether it was that wedding band that I needed a while back or that special ring for Bridget. He's always been there for me. He goes above and beyond. He's also a person who gives back to the local community. I like to do business with those who give back, and that's exactly what Elliott Herslick of Elliott's Jewelers does. Hey, if you feel like you don't know what to do, maybe you don't know where to turn, what to look for, Elliott is the person. Again, it's Elliott's Jewelers. You can visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com for more information. And when you call him, let him know that you heard from his good friend Rob Hipp. Again, it's Rob here for Elliott's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know if you're looking for someone in the jewelry business right here in Huntsville, look no further than my good friend Elliott Herslick. He's helped me out time and time again, whether it was that wedding band that I needed a while back or that special ring for Bridget. He's always been there for me. He goes above and beyond. He's also a person who gives back to the local community. I like to do business with those who give back, and that's exactly what Elliott Herslick of Elliott's Jewelers does. Hey, if you feel like you don't know what to do, maybe you don't know where to turn, what to look for, Elliott is the person. Again, it's Elliott's Jewelers. You can visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com for more information. And when you call him, let him know that you heard from his good friend Rob Hipp. Again, it's Rob here for Elliott's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com. This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Jason Bay, the pastor at First Baptist Church, Huntsville, and you're listening to Spirit Radio, the spirit of Huntsville.
All right, friends, back at it as we continue on here. It's 8:05 in the morning on this thankful Thursday. Brought to you by our friends here at First Baptist Church. Hey, if you're looking for a church, and we'd love to have you, come on over on Sundays, 9:30 for Bible study, 10:45 for service. I always get the 30s and the 45s mixed up. But that's what I always say, 9:30 for 9:30 for service, 9:30 for Bible study, 10:45 for service. Jason will get you out by noon, so how about that? Well, we want to welcome you back in. Always a pleasure to be here with our great friends from CASA, San Jacinto, Trinity, and Walker counties. Miss Kimberly Weezer, the executive director, and the program coordinator, Rachel Drake. Did I get that right? Almost. Okay.
So close.
I was very close to it. Oh, you know what, Rachel? Hold on. I gotta toss in another microphone here for you. I had you. Where did this guy go? Hold on. I promise I'll find it. It's hiding. Here it is. There we go. We just got to get you plugged in. All right. There we go, Rachel. You there?
Can you hear me now?
There we go. It's like a CB radio. Breaker 19. You got me there. Come back. Come on. So
it's a little fun.
Yeah, it's great to have you all on. You know, once a month we get to catch up with you great ladies and all the wonderful things going on at CASA. And Kim, I'll kind of start with you. What have you been up to? I know this is busy season is kind of, I don't want to say winding down, but this is the time of the year that maybe you start to get a little bit of R&R before things really start rolling again.
Yeah, summer is, for me personally.
Oh, 1 second. So, man, I'm messing this up all over the place, Kim. Sorry. Here we go. It's because, normally I have y'all shifted in different seats. All right, there we go. Now you should be good.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
All right.
Kim. All right.
Yeah, I was saying summer for me personally is just a really busy time at CASA. We are partially funded by some state and federal grants. And so in my world, that means that we're closing grants and opening grants and working on budgets and things like that. We have Christmas in July bingo that is always keeping us busy through June and July. We have coming up in a couple weeks our Amplifying Advocacy Conference. And so we kind of go straight from bingo to budgets to conference and all the little things that kind of happen in between, bringing our advocates in for their annual in-services and getting geared up for the things that we have going on in the fall. Food Truck Fridays kind of popping up once a month and getting the word out about getting people over to Food Truck Friday. Honestly, there's always something going on.
There's really not, I said, it's your time to kind of wind down. Not really.
Yeah, no.
Maybe like 5%, but then there's another 105 on the way, which is good.
We can usually find like an 8-day segment somewhere in the calendar where we get to like breathe for 8 days. And then it's like, okay, we got to get back to it because we got 3 things coming up in the next quarter and we got to get our things done. But it's a blessing to stay busy. We have a community that supports us immensely, that believes in our mission, and we will never, ever complain about our volunteers and kids keeping us busy because that is what we do. It's what we love to do. We love sitting down with our volunteers and walking them through their cases and their casework. And we obviously love serving our kids and doing whatever we can do to be better and make sure that they get what they need.
Yeah. Well, Rachel, it's been a little bit since we've seen you. You were here last week with us, though, I believe, or last month.
Yes.
Man, my words are all last week. Got the names wrong. But, well, Rachel, let us know what you've been up to here over this last month.
So a handful of some of the same things. Some of the budget pieces I work on, mostly, thankfully, that's Kim's job. But conference is kind of one of my babies at CASA, so we've been planning content and trying to figure out what topics and then pursuing speakers for the last several months, the majority of the year kind of leading up, building that content and team. We have an incredible committee built up of advocates and board members and some people from some other child service organizations to help give their input. And so now with the last month or so leading up, we're getting into the last nitty-gritty details, prepping for that, and then just court mediations, just serving the kids and the volunteers. That keeps us busy.
Kim, tell us a little bit more about this, the Amplifying Advocacy program. That's this conference that's coming up. I haven't heard of this before, but I know it's something big that you guys are a part of. Let us know the details and kind of what this will encompass and what you're hoping to take away from this.
Yeah, so Amplifying Advocacy Conference is a conference hosted by our program. It's here in town, and it is specifically a child advocacy conference. And so, like Rachel was saying, we plan a day and a half of content related to serving children who are from hard places. So any children who are in traumatic circumstances or really just need advocacy support in their life. And so we do a few keynote speakers, and then we have, I think, 12 total breakout sessions. So we have people coming from all over to our conference. And so it's really, I guess, become popular within the CASA network. And so we have people from our friends over at CASA of the Pines and, I can't even think. The CASA in Brenham has sent some people. I think we have 8 different CASA programs that are sending people to come learn at our conference.
When that Brennan CASA comes, they better bring the ice cream. So that's got to be.
I'll let them know to make sure to make a stop on their way in.
Yeah, perfect.
So we have, I think, 8 or 10 CASA programs that are registered, and some of our other community partners, Texas Family Care Network, who we work with very closely, is sending some of their staff to train. And it's really just a couple of days of us really digging in and learning more about the work that we're doing, learning more about some of the really specialized topics that we work in that we don't necessarily get to talk about a whole lot in our pre-service training and our regular training that happens throughout the year, and just networking and spending time with other like-minded people, other people who are doing the same thing that we're doing in other circumstances around the state, and then just enjoying each other's company and networking and learning more to serve our kids better.
Rachel, Kim said something that always piques my interest. Anytime I hear the word food, I kind of perk up like, whoa, what are we? Food Truck Friday is such a wonderful event. You know, I know Laura's worked very hard, too, of bringing more awareness and helping to get some of these events going. And you guys all work hand in hand together to do a lot of this. Food Truck Friday this Friday. So coming up tomorrow, do you have any details for us? Like who's coming? Is it still going to be over there down at McWilliams & Son? Let us know the details of it.
So it'll be at McWilliams & Sons. All of our Food Truck Fridays will always be there. They're the first Friday of the month, and not only this month, but I believe every month the rest of the year except December will be Frank's Tacos. We had a great success. People love his food, and it's an added bonus that he's not normally in town, and so it's an extra incentive to not have to drive quite as far to go get such delicious food. So. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. I need to see. It's like I'm always out of town on these Fridays now, like because of broadcasting and different things. So next month I will work hard to make sure that we're here so I can come partake of the Food Truck Friday. Just really cool events that are helping not only to raise funds for CASA, but to spread awareness. Kim, maybe highlight just over this last year some of the great things that have happened. I know you've already mentioned some of the events. We talked last month about the Christmas in July bingo. That was just an absolute awesome success. But just from your standpoint as executive director, what are some of the things that's really brought you a lot of joy over this last year?
Oh,
and obviously being and helping the children, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we put aside the children, I mean, you can't put aside the children, obviously. We sit at our staff meeting every 2 weeks, and we sit and just share about some of the victories that our advocates are seeing in their cases, some of the smallest victories, or things that feel small, like a teenager calling his advocate for advice on something, that may seem small to us, but for us who have been working with that teen for 6 or 9 months, and to see them connecting with their CASA and really coming to trust them. I mean, we just sit and share all these little moments that our advocates are making, little breakthroughs with kids 2 years old, 18 years old, everything in between. And I mean, obviously that's what brings us the most joy. But we've also just had a really amazing year. Our All About Kids Expo that we brought to the community in the spring was so exciting for us. It was such a joy to be able to partner with so many churches and organizations and businesses who just they wanted to come and share a little bit about what they do, but also offer something to the community where families can just come out and learn about what's available for kids. So we love that event. We're super excited to bring that back next spring. And this hasn't happened yet, but we are planning on bringing Pray to Playhouses back this year.
Awesome. Yeah, I know that's been a discussion.
And so I bring it up as a win for this year because we've had such incredible response from builders who have been excited. We have 7 builders committed for Pray to Playhouses this year. And so builders that are excited to jump in and support CASA in the way that is sort of them serving in their language that they speak, but then also just the community who is ready to buy raffle tickets and win a playhouse and is excited to see that event coming back. And I mean, honestly, there's just so many things, big and small, that that just bring us so much joy. Tonight at our office, we have our celebration for our Imagine the Possibilities campaign, which that was a campaign that we had launched whenever we moved into our new building in the spring of 2023, that we needed to raise some funds to kind of facilitate that transition into our new building and help us to set us up for success in operating in a new site. And so we were able to raise over $150,000 against that campaign as a match against the $150,000 that First Financial Bank had contributed for us to move into the building. And so we're inviting all the donors and the community back into our office again tonight just to celebrate not just the success of that campaign, but the way that that campaign has facilitated the success in our program, and just the way that CASA, I feel like CASA forever is set up for success by having a place that they can call home, that we can call home for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and I know you guys will echo this because, you know, first and foremost, it's about the children, and that's where the heart is, and that's what CASA is all about, is being a voice for these children and helping them through some of the most toughest things that you can imagine, and just being an advocate and being there for them. And friends, I want to encourage you, if you have a chance to get involved with CASA or to donate, please do. It's casaofwalkercounty.org, I believe is the website. We'll put that up on the screen here in just a little bit for all of you listening on Spirit Radio, the FM app this morning. Again, casaofwalkercounty.org. The more success that CASA has in meeting these costs and fundraising, those things in turn help out to be able to provide services for children. You don't turn anyone away. I mean, there's not a child that, you know, whenever these cases come up that you're saying, hey, we've got to be there. You have to be there for them. Yep. Rachel, I'll kind of ask you this as we close here in just a few moments, but if people want to get involved, they don't have to just give monetarily. I know we talk a lot about volunteer opportunities, but where can people get plugged in? I always want to make sure, because we have new people that are joining the show all the time that may not know about CASA or may not understand, but how can they get involved and what can they do?
So the, most obvious way, one, is to be an advocate. Outside of being an advocate or donor, there's so many ways. I feel like so many times we hear, like, I don't know what to do. I can't be an advocate. I don't know how to help. Well, you just tell us you want to help, and we will find a place for you. There's like a quilting group in Cold Spring that they get together once a year, and they make a bunch of cute little blankets, and they donate them, and our kids go and we can get them to our kids throughout the year. We have different people host child needs drives throughout the year, whether that's books, diaper drives. I mean, we have children from zero, unfortunately, when they were removed from the hospital, all the way up to 18. And so we have a resource closet that, as needs come up for birthdays, for special events, for this baby just came home and they need diapers, or foster parents having a tough time, like, our advocates can come in and get a birthday gift, or you did really good on your report card thing. So child needs drives are always helpful. We, as you know, host a lot of events. We're at Fair on the Square. We have big Christmas bingo. We have our conference. And so just volunteering to help staff events and fundraisers and different things like that is always a help. So, and then just also
It's always a lot happening, yeah.
And, my mind's just running.
That's
like,
good.
What else can I say? Praying for our kids.
Yeah,
I mean, the
good.
power of prayer is incredible. It does incredible things. And so whether you don't have the time, the money, whatever situation is, everybody can do that. So
yeah, and if you're on social media, share a post. I tell people all the time, if you can't give or volunteer, at least click share or like and get the word out. Those little things. You never know who, when you share something, somebody's going to pick that up and take that, and that could turn into somebody resharing something 300 times, and that's 300 more people that may have not had any idea about what's going on. So do that this morning. Make sure you like their Facebook page and periodically share their post. Kim, I got to ask you finally, how do you keep up with all this?
Oh, God, barely. There's lots of to-do lists, and luckily I have a really great team who I have a really great team at CASA who, I was actually just thinking on the way here that I am just so grateful that, Laura has her wheelhouse and she keeps everything that's in her wheelhouse moving forward and operational, and Rachel does the same, and Holly, who's our training coordinator, does the same. Catherine is really working with our cases and our advocates, and everyone just does their job with absolute excellence, and so it allows us to all kind of focus on our areas. But we are blessed with a great program with great advocates and a great board, and like Rachel kind of mentioned, one of our focuses this year is really just advancing volunteer opportunities within CASA that isn't just advocacy. So if people want to come and, like Rachel said, do drives or volunteer at events or, pull weeds. Yeah. At our office has apparently come up as a need.
Jason and I are excited about that one. We both raised our hand like, yes, we've been waiting for
a tan while you do it.
Yeah, we've been waiting for a weed pulling opportunity.
We had our Rock and D came to our office yesterday and got all of our flower beds cleaned up because this summer has just been special for our flower beds. And last night I was laying on my couch and I heard the rain coming, and all I could hear was weeds growing. So there's a place for everybody at CASA, and like Rachel said, if you want to get plugged in, we will find a place to plug you in, and whatever skills you feel like you bring.
Awesome. Well, ladies, thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all are a friend of this program, and it's like I've told Laura and you, Kim and Rachel, anytime y'all want to come on, Laura's got the calendar link. I told her, and Rachel, you've got it. Y'all just pick whatever you want. Y'all are welcome anytime. We love helping to spread the message of CASA and all the great things that you guys are doing. There is enough going on, and that's why we have y'all on once a month to give updates and to tell folks in the community about all the great things that's happening there at CASA. So thank y'all for all that you do, especially in making a difference and providing that voice for children who may not otherwise have a voice, and giving them hope. I think that's such an admirable thing that anybody can do, is to help be that voice for children in need. And y'all do that with passion. It's not a job. It's literally a calling that y'all really take to heart. And it shows in everything that you guys do. So you can tell when you talk to somebody and it's just a job. When you go into CASA, not being all corny, but you can feel the love at CASA when you walk in. Literally, the way y'all have that building laid out, it just feels like home. And it's so important to have that feeling, especially for children when they come in. So
for sure. That awesome. Is, what we do every day is we want kids to have a place that they feel at home. And so we believe it for our advocates and our staff and our community too. And we're grateful for you, Rob, awesome. And all that you do to help support CASA.
You bet. All right. Well, there she is, Miss Kimberly Weezer, the executive director, and Rachel Drake, the program director. Almost said coordinator. The program director over at CASA. Again, more information online at CASAofWalkerCounty.org. Thank y'all so much, Kim. Great to have y'all on today. Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks.
Well, we will wrap it up here in a moment. When we come back, Jason's back with us. And I want to remind you, our Thankful Thursday is brought to you by First Baptist. More information online at fbchuntsville.org. Also, our keyword, lasso, as we continue on. Make sure you text in lasso along with your name on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line 936-339-0139. Again, 936-339-0139 for your chance to win Lasso tickets coming up on September the 14th. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. A lot more to come as we continue on. This is your show. It's Good Morning Huntsville here on this Thankful Thursday. Stay with us.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know if you're looking for someone in the jewelry business right here in Huntsville, look no further than my good friend Elliott Herslick. He's helped me out time and time again, whether it was that wedding band that I needed a while back or that special ring for Bridget. He's always been there for me. He goes above and beyond. He's also a person who gives back to the local community. I like to do business with those who give back, and that's exactly what Elliott Herslick of Elliott's Jewelers does. Hey, if you feel like you don't know what to do, maybe you don't know where to turn, what to look for, Elliott is the person. Again, it's Elliott's Jewelers. You can visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com for more information. And when you call him, let him know that you heard from his good friend Rob Hipp. Again, it's Rob here for Elliott's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Here we grow again. Tomorrow's Promise is excited to announce our 3rd location to better serve the families of Walker County and surrounding areas. At Tomorrow's Promise, we are more than just childcare. We pride ourselves on partnering with parents and creating a place where every child is respected, loved, and nurtured in the highest quality environment. See what makes us the perfect fit for your child and their needs. Schedule a tour and learn more about Montessori.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tpms.life for more information. Education you can trust.
Woke up to the sun, I knew day shining bright. In my heart, this glory story of.
All right, friends, back at it, 8:29. Are you feeling fine, Jason?
I'm feeling good.
Feeling good. Not feeling
good.
Fine, just feeling good.
I'm feeling good, and you know, it was interesting and neat to hear all that CASA's doing because they are such a vital part of this community. There's so many kids in our area, just being in this area with so many different things that go on here in our community where kids need advocates, and I'm thankful for them, and the job that they do has to be such a heartbreaking journey in their lives, but I'm so thankful that they've opened their hearts to our community, to these children, to just be there for them, to help them through some of the hardest times. And as you know, and I know, it doesn't go. It doesn't happen by accident. It takes finances. It takes resources. It takes people to make these things happen. And I'm thankful for you, Rob, highlighting things like CASA and highlighting things like the Care Center of Huntsville and these organizations that help our community in so many ways. And without public support, they don't happen. We have to support these things that we believe in. And if you want our community to continue to be a lighthouse and help people that need help, man, support these organizations and keep them going and just give them thanks for what they're doing.
Absolutely. Well, it's my favorite time of the day here on a Thursday. Not only to be hanging out with you, Jason, I always enjoy just your friendship, man, and just talking to our audience. I think it's so tremendous and the words that you share. But it is that time. Theme music coming one day for this segment. It is now News You Can Use.
Yes,
with
absolutely.
Jason Bay. What
absolutely. Do you got? And Rob mentioned earlier we should retitle the segment News You Can Lose. And that probably applies to today.
Yeah, I was joking with you. I said, because I messed up and I said news you could lose. I said if it was news you could lose, it'd just be a political segment.
Definitely. But this is have you ever lost a pet?
I shouldn't. Okay, yes, and pets are very close to me. The only reason I'm kind of chuckling is I have the ashes of both my pets in my closet. And a little urn. That's how much they mean to me, man. Both of them.
That's good. That's good. There's something about a person by the way that they take care of their animals. Yeah. You can tell a lot about a person by the way that they take care of their animals. And a couple of times now I've been able to be on the segment with what's the woman that
Magnolia Kennel, Steph Valley.
Yeah, Steph Valley. And her love for animals is so amazing. But anyway, the reason I brought that up is because this week a cat was reunited with its owners up in Dallas after the cat had been missing for 2 years. And the cat got missing about 2 years when we had that real bad cold snap. The cat got outdoors and they couldn't find the cat. And they looked everywhere. They called, they put it everywhere. And 2 years later, up near Boston, the cat was found. Someone found the cat, a stray cat, wandering around, and they turned it in to the Dakin Humane Society, and they brought the cat in, and they scanned it like they do, and they found the microchip in the cat's wherever they put him, and they contacted the owner, and the owner was up near Dallas, and they said the owner said that they drove 2,000 miles to get the cat and bring the cat back home. Now the cat has been reunited. Cat's name is Shoto, has been reunited with his family up in Dallas. So I thought that was a really neat story. You never know.
The question is, did it come back with an accent? You know, I don't even know what that accent would be. You know, Boston,
meow meow,
meow 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 meow. Way to Boston, yeah. You know, you want to fight? I have no idea. That's probably horrible. How did the cat end up in Boston?
See,
though,
they don't
from
know.
Dallas?
That's pretty wild.
It's probably a Cowboys fan is trying to get away from the Cowboys.
They said it was a 26-hour each way journey to pick up the cat and bring the cat home. I mean, can you imagine losing a cat and then finding it in all the way up near Boston? But it reminded me, you know, we had a dog. We raised Basset Hounds, and we love our dogs. And they, especially like this time of the year, when I came to work this morning, I noticed you can tell the weather is changing. You know, it's cooler in the mornings, and there was kind of a little rain shower coming in. And when I was driving in, I saw deer moving, and I went around the corner, and there's some hogs there in the road that were, and our dogs love to hunt. They like to go out and, especially this time of year when it's a little cooler, they'd go out in the back and hunt rabbits. And their legs are too short to ever catch anything. But it's so fun just to listen to them barking.
Like Basset Hounds?
Basset Hounds.
I love it.
And they're out there, and they all work in a little pack, and they go back there and they hunt. Well, a few years ago, we had a couple of them, and they went across the road. And we're over there, and when they didn't come back. It was our male and a female. And my kids were so sad. We looked and looked and looked. And we have bad coyotes out there, and we've lost dogs before to coyotes, especially when they go out early in the mornings. You know, those coyotes are bad about being out there early in the mornings. And so I told the kids, you know, they're gone. Something has happened to them, you know. And I was the one that lost hope, as we were talking about before, because I just didn't think that they were coming back. And Kim put messages out on Facebook. You know, we're looking. We had pictures of the dogs. We put it everywhere, and we didn't have a microchip, and that was kind of a thing we should have done. But it turns out, in a similar way to this, someone had picked those dogs up and taken them to College Station, and I don't know whether they were wanted to take them. I mean, they're well cared for dogs and they're nice dogs. So I don't know if they intended to just steal them or if they were, but after a while, they may have figured out they couldn't take care of them, and they wound up in a shelter over there. Now, these are registered dogs, and so they are, I mean, you know, high quality animals, and they're
premium grade.
You could tell they're pets too, because they're just, I mean. Anyway, so someone from College Station, they wound up in a humane society over there, and they post their pictures on Facebook, and someone from College Station that we knew found them online, and we were able to contact and get them back. And it took a long time. Kim can tell you how long it was, but I think it was a month or so that they were gone. Wow. And but we were reunited with them. When I read this story, I thought of our dogs when they went missing. So,
do y'all have them now? I mean, are they still?
Yeah, so we brought them back, and they just were part of the family again. And it's been we love our dogs just like you love yours.
My dog lived to be 20 years old, Jason, and the thing that got her was doggone heartworms.
Oh my gosh.
She had surgery when she was like 14. The vet said, we normally don't operate on dogs like this, but your dog still has the body of a 4-year-old pup. And so they operated, did some teeth work on her. She went good, and then within 6 months, whenever she was right before she turned 20, within 6 months, she was chasing deer 6 months before she died. She'd run faster than the deer. It was crazy. And I never even thought about it. Heartworms got her. Wow. And now I'm real big on that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's very close to me. I went through some pretty rough times in my life when way before Bridget, and that dog got me through it, because the dogs are always there for you.
Animals are so, and like you said, you can really tell a lot about the character of a person by the way that they treat their animals.
I did want to mention one other thing. Bridget, they had a family dog named Cujo. It was a little poodle. Cujo's still around, by the way. Just a rowdy little poodle, just crazy little poodle. Well, it ended up missing one day, and someone had posted a picture somewhere on Facebook, and they're like, "Oh, look at our new dog we got. It's named Lucky." I think someone had stole the dog, renamed it to Lucky.
Yeah.
And long story short is we ended up getting the dog back because it had got out of their fence and it was microchipped. And this lady had swore up and down, "That is our dog. We got the dog." And we're like, "Lady, the dog has a chip in it. It's our dog."
Yeah,
so we went back and got it.
Well, it's in a similar when Kim contacted that Humane Society, they had somebody that wanted that dog and that was going to get that dog, and our dog, and we didn't have it microchipped. It did have a collar on, and it had identification on the collar, but when they found the dog, of course, the collar wasn't on. It was gone. And so she had to prove that was our dog, and so we had pictures of it, obviously, with the kids and everything, so it was no problem proving it. And when we got the dog back, she was so happy. Both of them were so happy to be home. But yeah, so you know, Shoto, that's the cat's name. So thank the Lord for the Shoto's safe delivery home.
I guess I'm not a cat guy, but congratulations. Welcome home.
Welcome home, Shoto. Yes. The second thing, over the weekend, I know you're interested in this, Rob. I know this is just, you can't wait to hear this. If you missed it, you probably were the first person to watch this on TV, but Joey Chestnut. Do you know who Joey Chestnut is? Joey Chestnut is the world record holder for the hot dog eating contest.
Oh,
yeah.
God, my stomach's already hurting.
So, interesting, thing happened over. This usually happens on the 4th of July. 4th of July is usually the Nathan's hot dog eating contest that takes place annually on the 4th of July. Well, Joey Chestnut didn't participate in the hot dog eating contest because he is now sponsored by this company. What's this company called that you've heard about, this Near Meat? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Beyond Meat?
Yeah, Beyond Meat. Yeah, so Beyond Meat has sponsored him now. So he's no longer he no longer can participate in the 4th of July contest. So Netflix stepped in and said, hey, well, if you can't participate there, come on Netflix and we will do a show with you. And his nemesis, which is Kobayashi, who's a guy that usually comes in second place, and they went head to head. And Joey Chestnut defended his crown, and he also beat the world record eating 83 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. So
83?
83.
Nathan's hot dogs.
No, not Nathan's anymore because they've not sponsored him anymore. It's some other hot dog. I don't know what kind of meat was offered in these hot dogs, but he ate 83 of them, beating Kobayashi. This took place on Monday during Labor Day. So I know all the people out there have probably already knew about this, watching it with, But I wonder how they eat these without choking. You ever wonder that? I mean, my goodness, it's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. I was flipping through the channels and I saw that, and I was telling Kim, I was like, yeah, we got to watch this. But we can only watch about 5 minutes of it because it's so gross.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm taking these online classes at ORU right now, and Oral Roberts had wrote this for the first class in 1967. Had a 11-page document. It was his speech that he gave to that very first class. 3,900 high school kids applied. They let 300 in. It was the very first class. And he's talking about the wholeness of the man, the whole man. And the only whole man that ever was Jesus Christ.
Right.
But we can strive to become a whole man. Now, we'll never get there, but we can strive.
Yes.
And the wholeness of man is with the body, mind, and spirit. Well, the body, and this is why I brought this up, I'm literally having to talk about this health stuff right now in this class. And that is the one area. It said identify one area of spiritual integrity that you can improve on. Well, right away, it's my eating. It's horrible eating, and that affects the spirit, right? The mind, the body, and the spirit. So to me, I'm sitting there thinking, one, your body's the temple of God. I'm not honoring that, in all honesty, because I'm eating terrible. I'm not exercising and taking care of myself. I'm sitting here thinking of all that in this paper I just wrote yesterday while I'm hearing your story. I'm
83 hot dogs.
Like, that dude's destroying the wholeness. There's no way he's ever even going to come close.
Oh, man, that is just disgusting to even think about, eating 83 hot dogs in 10 minutes. And just to watch the whole thing, and I wonder how they don't take this and choke. Have you ever experienced choking or your kids choking?
Yeah, I just did yesterday. Caden kind of choked on a grape a little bit.
Did it freak you out?
Yeah, but he's fine, and then it coughs it up.
Yeah,
Thank goodness for the reflex.
Oh, man.
Reflex, not the reflex.
We've with just having kids, I think hot dogs are one of the worst things you can eat as far as like choking goes. Grapes are too, You
have to cut them in half.
Yeah, because the size of them, and kids with hot dogs a lot of times will choke just because of the size of them. But
can I show you a hot dog thing real quick?
Yeah, let's see it.
So I'm in the radio business. I call it.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this.
I call it wannabe radio business. I'm in the wannabe radio business.
No, you're full-fledged. We were just bragging on you earlier.
So here's this guy, right?
Yeah.
People that are watching online can see. If you're on a Spirit Radio app, you won't be able to see this. There's a guy that's attached a hot dog wiener to the end of a stick. Okay, he has a wire running from that hot dog wiener down to the ground of this radio antenna. Radio antennas, they tell you to stay away from them, by the way. Yeah. Especially AM
radio.
So
is this like a broadcast antenna? Is that what it is?
It's a huge broadcast antenna, multiple thousands of watts, okay?
And so it's sending out signals,
AM
correct?
radio signal.
Okay.
Well, because those signals are so strong, there's been reports over the years that people can actually sometimes hear the radio through a chain link fence.
Oh, my goodness.
Because the signal's so strong that it'll reverb through the metal.
Right.
Just think about what's that doing to your body, right? Well, check this guy out. He decided he's going to take a hot dog wiener.
Yeah.
And watch what happens when he puts it to the tower.
Parallel to this right here.
Now, if you're listening, it looks like he's touching the hot dog to the bottom of the antenna.
Well, let me
make sure it's hot.
Let me rewind it here, actually.
It's hot.
Oh, there it is.
Hold on. Here we go.
That's crazy.
Now I'm hoping there's.
Okay, you ready?
I don't think there's any bad language on this. Here
I'm going to go parallel to that.
Hold on. This is the wrong part.
No, he's going to do it right here.
Well,
Or actually grounding.
There we go.
There it is.
I'm going to stay sort of safe enough away.
Good night. He's cooking the hot dog.
But you can hear it.
I know it. Oh, and you can hear the radio.
Yes, you can hear the radio through the hot dog.
Yes.
That's why you don't touch a tower.
Good night.
Look at that juicy stuff there. Don't lick it.
Oh, man. Yeah, you can hear it.
The hot dog is smaller than it was. Show me the. Oh my gosh.
The hot dog. There you go, Jason.
The hot dog has disappeared. Part of it.
We've gone from Joey Chestnut to watching them
hot
cook
dog.
hot dogs with a radio antenna.
Just think if you were near that antenna and you didn't realize, in the last moments on Earth, was you grabbing that antenna, listening to the O'Reilly, O'Reilly's Auto Parts. You know?
Oh, man.
Wouldn't that be horrible?
That would be horrible.
Anyway, hot dog radio here
Yeah,
today.
that's right.
Isn't
So,
that crazy?
hey, go eat a hot dog this weekend.
Don't touch it to
Do you
the
like
radio
hot
time.
dogs, by the way?
I love hot dogs. But I've learned to quit eating hot dogs like ballparks and all that, and now I eat brat. Is that, am I saying it the right way?
Yeah.
Because it's like actually real.
Real, yeah. I'm the same way. I tell Kim, do not bring me that chicken mixed with pork and whatever else they find laying around.
Human fingers.
Whatever else. Yeah, please spare me from that.
Man, Tommy, you know he lost his finger last week, but it made it taste better.
Yeah, right. One of my guilty pleasures is watching real crime TV shows.
Oh, okay.
You like that?
Do you watch Dateline?
I watch some of those. I like the one. It's called See No Evil. Have you seen that one? It's like on Discovery Channel, and they there's in crime fighting, trying to solve murders. One of the biggest tools that they use now is surveillance video, because there's so much surveillance video out there nowadays that they have solved a lot of crimes on using surveillance video.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I just read this week that they're finding that's becoming really key in solving murder cases or other criminal cases is Teslas.
The cars,
because there's so much video that those cars naturally record. I didn't realize this. They said that Teslas are notable for being giant rolling surveillance devices decked out with cameras and sensors that capture a huge amount of information about what's happening all around them. So especially out in California, where these cars are a lot more prevalent, the cops are getting warrants to tow these vehicles to download their data to record, to solve crimes. And they recently in Oakland, California, they solved a murder. A woman was shot and killed by a group of men that pulled a gun on them, and police took the Tesla in and used it, and the video from that car actually solved the murder, and they were able to solve that murder. So, man, the technology these days, as far as surveillance, think about surveillance in our world compared to the way it was 10 years ago. I mean, there's so much video recorded on everything that we absolutely do. It's unbelievable.
Brings up a good point. You know, there's 7 or 8 billion people. I think almost 8 billion people on the earth now. When I was growing, it was 6, so we've already grown 2 more billion. That's going to exponentially continue to grow now. But you think about every single person
has
almost every person has a high definition video camera. Here's my point. If aliens and UFOs actually existed, why is every single video bouncy and grainy when we have at least, I'm going to just estimate at least, let's just be conservative and say 4 billion HD devices around the world? Why is there not one solid video, Jason? Now, that's a whole other debate for another day. But there you go. Technology has not solved that problem yet.
The reason why is because the aliens have far superior technology than we do, so they can avoid these
They block
surveillance
it,
things. Yeah. That's why it's grainy.
I remember asking my my buddy's grandma one time. She watched all those UFO shows all the time back in the day. And I said, Mary, I just don't know about all that. I was like 12 years old. I said, I don't really believe on it. Do you? She was very good Christian lady. She goes, well, son, if they do, the good Lord made them. And I was like, you're right. So that's the perfect
It's a great outlet.
Yeah.
Great outlet. Yes. Couple more things I want to get to really quick. We don't have much time left, but did you hear about the football season starts back tonight? Is the first?
The NFL.
Yeah, the NFL starts back tonight.
Starting tonight.
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard about this, but this is amazing. Ricky Pearsall, plays for the 49ers. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, got shot.
Got shot in San Francisco, leaving a department store. Had 2 bags with him. At 3:30 in the afternoon, someone comes up, 17-year-old, comes up and tries to rob him. They wrestle with the bags, and the guy ends up pulling out a gun and shooting him in the chest. And the cop runs over there. The guy that shot him also accidentally shot himself during the altercation, and they caught the guy. But they took the guy runs over. The security guard runs over to Pearsall, laying there on the ground, and he looks up at him and he says, he thinks his life is over. He thinks he's going to die. And the guy says, we're going to take care of you. We're going to get you to the hospital. They got him to the hospital, and that bullet went straight through his body, in his chest, out his back, and didn't touch anything.
Yeah, man, wow.
He was released within 24 hours and was at the practice the next day. I mean, he not working out, obviously, but just he wanted to be there for the guys as soon as he could to let them know that he was okay. But can you imagine that? I mean, what a miracle, what a blessing. I mean, here's a guy that his life could have ended, and the bullet just literally travels through and hits nothing.
Yeah, his mom put out a statement and said this was God watching over and protecting him. And, it's just amazing that happened. They said I believe they were going for his Rolex, is what I had heard whenever I saw the thing. They were robbing him for the Rolex. Can you believe that?
That's unbelievable. Do you know what position he plays?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think
he plays for the Cowboys. No, it's in San Francisco.
No. By the way, Cowboys have a lot to. 3:30 on Sunday. Cowboys will be playing.
Definitely will be out of here by noon.
Yeah. No question. The last thing I wanted to say, this comes from the Houston Chronicle. Texas A&M, right down the road, they are putting a 5-year pause in enrollment growth to buy time to correct crowding issues that are going on. They did a report recently. The student population at the College Station campus hit a record of 71,000 people at Texas A&M, which is the largest it's ever been. But it's really put a strain on the infrastructure over there, not only on campus, but in College Station in general, with the crowding of streets and all that. So they're putting a pause on the growth of enrollment. So this means that if your child is going to apply to Texas A&M within the next 5 years, they're going to make the admission requirements even more difficult. And they said just this last year for the fall semester, which we're right in right now, there were 3,030 undergraduates that were applied to an engineering department that were qualified to be admitted, but that were turned down. There was 1,225 in the business school that were qualified, but they were turned down, and 868 in biology that were qualified, but were turned down because of space constraints. And they're expecting those numbers to increase just to limit the growth of Texas A&M University. So if your child is going to apply for A&M, which a couple of mine will be, tell them to work really hard and make really good grades, because the admission requirements are only going to get tougher over there, it looks like.
Tough days ahead for the Aggies, not only on the field, but in the classroom.
That's right.
It's all good. I know you got to get rolling here in about 5 minutes, Jason. Real quick, on this day in 16, by the way, news you can use.
Yes.
Bay. On this date in 1698, Russia's Peter the Great imposed a tax on beards. Something that we really don't have to worry too much. I keep a little. You're always clean shaved. Did you ever let it grow out?
No, I'm not a really good beard grower. I think I would probably look like if I grew any. Well, first of all, being a pastor, everybody comments on your look. So if I even have a little bit of stubble, I say, well, did your razor break? What happened?
Oh, man.
And then not only that, I'd probably look like somebody that needed some. taken to the homeless shelter or something, that I look kind of scraggly with it.
It doesn't look too good.
It doesn't look nearly as good as yours.
Is it okay if I see? I'm opposite. If I shave mine, I look like a butterball turkey. Like Thanksgiving comes early. I'm not a fan. Well, they did. They put a tax on it. Peter the Great did, for tax on beards. His opponents immediately launched this campaign: "Let's make Russia shave again." that was their campaign. He told taxpayers not to worry about it; it would grow on them. It was the rare situation that made shaving a tax deduction.
All right.
There you go. Those guys from Duck Dynasty, had they been around back then, boy, they'd have been filthy rich, by the way. And those concerned about paying too much taxes went to H&R Barber.
Oh, yeah.
Measure passed by a whisker, by the way, Jason. And peasants renamed him Peter the Not As Great As We Originally First Thought. So that was his name. Hey, on this date in 1774, I'm in the middle of studying all this right now. On this date, 1774, the First Continental Congress assembled in Philadelphia.
Oh, wow.
So you can probably imagine what they had for breakfast, a continental breakfast there. Sam Houston on this. Is this today? This is where we get to fact check. Was Sam Houston elected president of the Republic of Texas on this day?
September the 5th.
I don't know. Yeah. Man, that's Sam Houston elected Republic. I got a Republic of Texas. If not, I'm getting my money back from this service.
Yeah, you should.
Because, man, I'm going to be so furious.
Yeah, well, then you're going to think how bad you're going to look being right here. And
so it is September 5th, 1836.
See, and look, you're just providing all kind of news that people can use. This isn't stuff you want to lose.
Yes, you can use, don't lose. This date, 1836, none other than the great Sam Houston, who graced these floors at First Baptist.
That's right.
Can you believe that?
I know it. It's wonderful.
Boy, the man we're talking about went to this church.
Elected president of Texas.
Elected the president of the Republic of Texas. Did not, this was kind of, he said it did not have an official stand on immigration at the time because there were a lot of immigrants coming to Texas. So no political stance on that back then. But
no wall.
1836, Sam Houston elected the president of the Republic of Texas. Can you believe that? Today is National Be Late for Something. Well, you don't want to be late. You got to be somewhere at 9 o'clock. You could tell Kim if you're running behind, say, I was celebrating today.
Yes, today is the day.
National Be Late for Something today. National Cheese Pizza. Are you a cheese pizza guy, or what do you like on your pizza, Jason?
Yeah, well, I kind of like the Supreme Pizza, but with kids, all the kids like cheese pizza. So I'm a sucker for a good cheese pizza.
Okay. It's also a Happy Cinco de Septiembre. I probably butchered that, but guess what? There is no such thing as Cinco de Mayo. We just made one up today. Be late for something. 20% of us are late to work at least once a week. In addition, 10% admitted they were late twice a week, according to a recent Harris poll for CareerBuilder.com. Here are the most common excuses for being late. What would you think one of them would be, Jason? Just one on this list.
Well, I would say car trouble or traffic.
Boom, boom. Number one, traffic. Lack of sleep, number two. Number three, getting the children ready for school or daycare.
I was going to say that, kids.
Number four, problems with public transportation.
Mm-hmm.
Number five, wardrobe issues. I've had a couple of those. And then number six, dealing with pets. Why are you late today? My dog wouldn't go outside.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Or had to retrieve the cat from Boston.
Yeah, had to go get the cat from Boston. Volkswagen is weighing whether to close factories in Germany the first time in its 87-year history as it moves to deepen the cost cuts amid rising competition from China's electric vehicle makers. So some news there. I've always wanted a Beetle. Super Beetle.
Yeah, no kidding. And Volkswagens, I think, from what I've heard, are pretty good cars.
A couple of last things here that we always get to every day. Today's impossible question. The longest one of these ever recorded was 5 feet 8 inches long. What was it? The longest one ever recorded, 5 feet 8 inches long.
Hot dog.
Could be. That's not it. That could be.
See, that would have made a perfect circle. You should have made it hot dog.
I'm going to say it's a guy that's on TV. A guy that's on TV. Okay, that'll give you a hint. A guy that's on TV.
Longest one of these.
5 foot. 5 foot 8, and it's a guy that's on TV. So we'll let you figure that out. While you're thinking of that, 65% of managers won't hire you if you don't make eye contact during the interview.
understandable.
Are you kind of like when you look at someone? It's kind of awkward to sit there. Like I'm talking to you right now. It
Yeah.
feels like I got to turn away, man. It's, don't you know what I'm saying though?
Yeah, I think it has to do with the how the distance too. Like if somebody is like gets close to you, then it's like they get into your space.
But do you when you talk to somebody, do you look at them for
I
a little
try
bit?
to,
And then
yeah.
but it kind of feels weird after a while.
Yeah. Especially if you think about it.
When you're in the pulpit, do you look at people in the audience, or do you kind of look above people? Is that okay? Can I ask you that question?
No. I definitely look at people just to make eye contact with people, but I don't. People think that I'm conscious about it. I hope Rob really hears this. I'm gonna give him the eye.
That's what I think. Whenever you're preaching, man, he's looking at me. I need to, I get nervous.
No, it's nothing like that. It's just an affirmation that we're communicating, and I'm not just talking at you. Hopefully.
All right. One other thing here. A recent survey found that SUV drivers more likely to sing while driving. Well,
Peace.
I would also say Ford F-150 drivers.
Yeah.
We like to sing and drive. You drive an F-150. I see you in the F-150.
Yeah, well,
so
long story there.
Yeah, but you know what? It's good to have an F-150. That's Texas. When I was up north, they were like, oh, people don't drive Fords up here. I'm like, Ford is the best truck in Texas.
That's right.
Today's impossible question. The longest one of these was ever recorded. It was 5 feet 8 inches long. What is it? I said a hint was a guy on TV. Well, it's a televangelist and a pastor of a church has one of these, but his is not quite this long.
I have no idea. Oh, hair.
A mullet. Thinking of Brother Joel down in Houston. He's got one. So longest mullet.
My goodness.
5 feet 8 inches long.
That is an impossible question.
There you go. I know you got to go. We're going to hit the phone line real quick. And we have our winner today on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. Here we go.
Good morning.
Yes, hello. This is Jennifer. That's Ron McMurtry here. I'm over here to Huntsville, Texas.
You had your perfect opportunity to be the cat from Boston.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear the cat from Boston story today?
I did. That is crazy.
If the cat
I'm not an animal hater, but I don't know if I could drive that far to go pick up a cat.
Okay, if the cat came back with an accent, what would it sound like, Jennifer? How would it say hello?
There you go.
Well, hey, we got 2 tickets to
No clue.
We got 2 tickets to Lasso Your Imagination. How does that sound?
Yes, that's going to be fun. I'm going to bring my bestie with me.
Oh, well, wonderful. We've got them for you this year. Just pick them up here at First, Monday through Thursday from 9 to 3, and that's courtesy of our friends at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Jennifer, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kay and Rick.
You bet. Jason's got a question for you. What are you most thankful for today? That was Jason saying that.
Yes, that was me. What are you most thankful for today?
I'm like, Jason sounds a little different. Thankful for, like I had put in the post, I'm thankful for the rain because it's given us cooler temperatures finally.
Absolutely.
So
awesome.
Have to be thankful for it all, even though it's messy and yucky sometimes. Just grateful for it because it's definitely cooler weather for sure.
Awesome.
Which is much needed.
This summer has been such a blessing when it comes to the rainfall. I think this
Yes.
summer has been so good. Our grass has stayed pretty green all summer.
Pretty green. And Jennifer, remember, take care of your own grass first. That was our intro.
That's how we brought it up all the way back around.
Grass is not greener on the other side. Take care of your own first. And if you need some of that manure, we know the place downtown.
Yeah,
to
that's
get it.
right.
I'm just kidding, Jennifer. Hey, well, have a blessed day, all right?
Thank you.
All right, there she is.
Bye-bye.
Jennifer Augustinetti, the winner today. She's been a faithful viewer of this show for a long time, and congratulations. Jason, thank you. It's been fun today.
Yeah, it's been great, man. I always love spending time with you and praying for you guys as you head off to San Antonio this weekend to be with your family. And I know y'all are going through a lot, but I know, Rob, there's a lot of people that are praying for you. I told you when we started that when you get into this line of work and you start doing ministry, you can expect the enemy to come after you with both barrels ablazing. And I think you've proven me right.
Yeah, unfortunately. But you know what? Stay in faith.
That's right.
And I always say in the good times, but especially in the down times, stay in faith and watch what God's going to do. So,
amen.
Hey, we love you, Huntsville. Thanks for being a part of it. We'll be back tomorrow remotely. Billy Cawthon and I will have it. I'll be live from where we're staying down in San Antonio, but we will be on remotely at 7:30, so make sure you tune right back in. For Jason Bay, I'm Rob Hipp, reminding you this morning, friends, that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We're really not. We need each other, so please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand to support Huntsville. I guarantee somebody out there needs you. Until next time, bright and early tomorrow, 7:30, good morning and God bless. We'll see you on the other side, and have fun. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow. Not a weekend, but we'll see you tomorrow. Jason, thank you.
God bless you, brother.
Every dream feels shattered, every hope grown cold. When the night seems endless and you've lost your way, just remember there's a light.